All right, so come on down onto your mat. Step your feet nice and wide. Let your knees drop in towards each other. And then just take a second to play around for a second with the position of your feet. So you find an appropriate distance for your feet that your knees can drop in towards each other that feels comfortable and allows a little bit of letting go in the front of your hips. So we want to see if we can find a little soft position of the hips and the hip flexors. Knees are supporting each other so the legs don't have to effort too much. And then if you found your way there, bring your arms up into cactus or goalpost arms. And then just tune in for a second and notice. So if you brought your elbows up and out and your ribs started to lift and flare, see where you can soften your elbows so that the ribs can settle down into your mat. And you feel a sense of the back ribs heavy into the earth and your solar plexus is able to be soft. And then once you've found a nice softening, ribs are soft and heavy, hips are soft and heavy, maybe just for a moment, close your eyes or soften your gaze so that most of your focus is paying in and tuning into sensation in your body. So start by just noticing the backs of the hands and the backs of your arms, whatever points of the backs of your hands and arms are connected to the floor. And then notice the top side of the arms, the part of the arms that are exposed to the air or the open air. Great. And then walking a little further, notice the back sides of your shoulders, your shoulder blades, and just the upper back body in general. Notice the points that are connected to the floor. And then tune into the front side of the body, the part that's exposed to the open air. Nice. And then start to walk down a little bit further. So maybe notice your middle, the ribs, your rib cage, the middle of your center, and just notice that connection to the back of the floor. And then tune into the front side of the body and notice that freedom or that openness in front of you. And then move your awareness down just a little bit further. Notice your low back. You might even notice where your low back meets your hip section and just kind of tune in and notice, see if you can keep your low back soft, hips soft and heavy. And then just notice them connected to the floor. And then shift your awareness to the front side of that section, maybe noticing the belly, low belly, and the front of the hips, and just notice that connection to the open space. And then with your knees in that bent knee position, maybe you can kind of draw lines. Notice where your hips and your butt are connected to the floor, but then start to draw a line to that curve that starts to lift up away from the floor. And then just maybe you notice the back sides of your legs, the sides of your legs, the tops of your legs, all in that open air space. For a moment, notice your knees, and maybe you can notice the points where the knees are touching. Maybe notice a little bit of warmth between that space. And then maybe draw some awareness to the outsides of the knees and invite just a little extra softness to the outsides of your knees. And then see if you can start to take your awareness down to your calves and your shins. And again, notice that openness or that exposure to the open space. And then if you can, start to walk your awareness down towards your ankles and your feet, noticing where the bottoms of your feet are connected to the floor. Notice your toes and the tops of your feet, and just notice if you're holding any tension or gripping in your feet. Can you let your feet soften? And then in that softer position, can you notice that open air space on the tops of your feet? And then see if you can just start to draw your awareness from your toes all the way back up your body, up the legs, up the torso, up the neck, and then notice your head, and then notice the back of your head connected to the floor. And then notice the front of your head connected to that open space. And then without segmenting things, start to tune in and think about your body as a whole unit. And then see if you can just take a nice deep breath in and imagine that you're just filling your entire unit up with air. And then exhale, let all of that air go. And then again, think, if you can, think of your body as one whole connected unit. And then just imagine that you're filling your entire self up with air. So take that nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. Take one more breath here, just like that, finding that fullness, that sense of filling up your entire unit with air. And then exhale, find a little bit of softness and a little letting go. Nice. And then before we start to move or engage the body, pause here for a moment and set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. Great. And then with that intention set, we're going to start to windshield wiper the knees and drop the head side to side. So we're going to take the knees in one direction, head's going to drop in the opposite direction. And then we're just going to start to find a little gentle rhythm there. So you might start with smaller movements just to allow the head and the neck, the knees and the hips to all get on board. But then once things start to warm and loosen up, maybe take the movements just a little bit further. Just make sure it feels like a nice, safe and comfortable position for the knees, for the hips, and the head and the neck. Take one more time side to side in that fluid motion. And then as you bring the knees back to center, pause for a second. Just notice, make sure you want to see if there's any arrangements you want to make for your shoulders or for your feet. And then we're going to drop the knees over to the right. Head's going to turn to the left, and you're going to see how it feels to let the knees get super heavy down towards the earth. You might notice your left hip picks up just a little bit. Go ahead and let it do whatever it naturally does. Turn your head to the left if that's available. Take a nice deep inhale. Nice slow exhale. We're going to stay here for 2 extra breaths. If you can, take your right hand, reach it over and across, and just find your left ribs, and then spread your fingers on your ribs. Take a nice big inhale here. Nice slow exhale. Take one more breath. Awesome. And then release your right hand back into that cactus or gold pose position. Bring your knees to center, head to center. We're going to drop the knees over to the left. Head's going to turn to the right. Let your knees get nice and heavy. Hang out for a second. Just find that comfortable position. Take a nice deep breath. And then if you can, take your left hand, reach across and find the right rib. Spread your fingers on your ribs and then come back to your breath. Take a nice deep inhale. Nice slow exhale. One more breath. Awesome. Release your left hand from your ribs, float it back into that cactus position. Bring the knees back to center, head to center. Arms are still in that goalpost position, but now we're going to walk the feet in a little bit closer. So feet are now about hip width distance apart, heels a little closer to the butt. As you inhale, you're just going to stretch your arms up and overhead like you're reaching up above your head. And then exhale, pull the elbows back down to that cactus position. Inhale and stretch your arms up and overhead. Exhale, pull the elbows back down. Inhale, stretch your arms up and overhead. Exhale, pull the elbows down and then float your hands all the way down. Flip and rotate the palms facing down towards the earth. Rearrange your shoulder blades as needed. And then we're going to come into some pelvic tilt here. As you exhale, press your low back into the ground, tilt the pelvis, get a little engagement in the quads, and then release to the natural curve of your back. Exhale to press the low back down. Inhale to release. Exhale to press. Inhale to release. Take 2 or 3 more cycles of breath here and just notice your own breath's rhythm. Move at a pace and a depth that feels right to you. Beautiful. Take 1 more cycle of breath. And then finding that more neutral spine, so not extremely pressing the low back down, but maybe there's just a slight bit of firmness in your center. You're going to draw your right knee up to your chest, give a light little squeeze, and then right away release it back down, switch sides. Left knee is going to pull up and into your chest, and then right away release and set it down. And now we're going to just take a few times from side to side here, just alternating your knee, gently starting to move in the hip joint, lifting the knee up. A light and gentle squeeze, does not need to be extreme, and then release it right away. Beautiful. Take 1 more time each side, or even yourself out. And then with both feet back down on the ground and hands just in a comfortable position, maybe slightly further out from the sides of your body, we're going to take it into the right leg. So you're going to drop your right knee out to the side and then pull the right knee back up. Drop your right knee out to the side. So think you're setting yourself for half butterfly, and then pull the right knee back up. Drop the right knee out to the side and then pull it back up. Awesome. And now we'll take it over to the other side. Left knee is going to drop out and then pull it back up and in. Left knee opens out and then draw it back in. Left knee opens out and draw it back in. Awesome. Then slide your hands back in so that the palms are facing down. Now we're going to engage the arms just a little bit more. So think about pressing the backs of the arms into the earth, shoulder heads pressing down. From here, we're going to slide the left leg long. See if you can kind of drag your heel along the floor and then tune into your center, press into your heel and drag your heel back in. And then take it over to the other side. Left heel is going to slide out. You're going to kind of drag that heel along the ground. Mine often stutters, especially on my sticky mat. So just notice. And then if you can, press into the heel, drag that heel and pull it back in. Great. Now this time, right leg and left arm are going to reach out nice and long. Drag that heel and pull the left hand back in, palm facing down alongside your hip. Take it to the other side. Left leg is going to reach out. Right arm is going to reach up. Drag the heel and pull it back in. Beautiful. Back to the left arm, right leg, reach it out. Drag that heel to pull it back in. And then over to the other side. Left leg, right arm reaches out. Nice. And then drag and pull it back in. Arms are going to stay down at your sides. You're going to pull your right knee up towards your chest. Send your heel up towards the ceiling. Keep a softness in the back of the leg, a little point in your toe just to put some energy out nice and long. Reach your leg down to the end of your mat. Let your heel hover and then pull that knee right back into the chest. Send the heel upward towards the ceiling. Reach nice and long. And now once you've found that nice maneuver, so it's just a little bit of a single leg lift, pulling the knee into the chest and reaching up towards the ceiling. Can you tune in to your left leg, left hip, and your low back and see, as you do this maneuver, is there a lot of wobbling or a lot of movement in the hip? Can you keep your hips evenly anchored into the earth? Use your left leg as kind of a little stomping ground. So you want to just put a little firm press into that left leg to help stabilize this movement. Beautiful. Take one more time through. And then the next time you lift that right leg up, you're going to keep it up there. Keep a soft bend of the knee. And now reach up, grab the back of the thigh, interlace your fingers, and now press your thigh into your hands. Arms are engaged. And now we're just going to bend and straighten that right leg. The next time your toe reaches up towards the ceiling, soften your grab on the leg, soften your knee, walk your hands up towards your ankle, let your chest and chin lift, and then right away release it all back down to the ground. Foot touches down, and now we're going to take it to the other side. So hands down alongside the hips, press into the backs of the arms, anchor into your right leg, pull the left knee up towards your chest, a little point to the toe, lift your foot up towards the ceiling, extend it nice and long, keep the heel hovering, and then pull the knee back up into the chest. And then just find that nice smoothness of that movement. Knee pulls into the chest, toe extends up, and then you reach the leg nice and long. Once you've got that down, tune into your right leg and your hips. Can you keep your hips evenly anchored on the floor? Finding a nice stability in your center as you work through that leg. Beautiful. Take one or two more times through. And then the next time your foot extends up towards the ceiling, reach behind, grab the back of the thigh, make that little basket weave, press your thigh into your hand, arms are engaged, and now we bend and straighten that leg. Beautiful. And then the next time your toe extends up towards the ceiling, stay there. Keep a little micro bend in the knee, soften your grab, walk your hands up towards the ankle, let your chest and chin lift. Beautiful. And then right away, walk it all back down. Soles of the feet are going to come together, knees out to the left and to the right into a reclined cobbler's pose position. Take a second to just make sure your tailbone feels arranged properly and your hips are in a fairly happy position. Reach your arms straight up from your chest. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, pull the abdominal muscles down towards the spine, curl up the head, neck, and chest. Inhale and release back down. Exhale to curl up. Inhale to release. Exhale to curl up. Inhale to release. Exhale to curl up. Inhale to release. One more time, just like that. Exhale to curl up. Inhale to release. Now, keep your legs in that butterfly position. Pull the elbows down alongside the ribs. So think about pressing your elbows into the ground, using them for a little bit of leverage. Keep the soles of the feet pressing together. Inhale and lift your hips up away from the floor into a little butterfly bridge. And then exhale to lower your hips back down with control. Inhale and lift your hips up. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. One more just like that. Inhale to lift your hips up. Exhale to lower back down. Grab the outsides of your thighs, help your knees come together, pull both knees into your chest, give yourself a light little squeeze. And now we're going to take hold of the kneecaps and then butterfly the knees out and away from each other. So we're just going to start to circle the knees around, think pulling them in towards the chest, out and away, and then up towards the ceiling. Nice. Take one more circle around in this direction, and then we're going to go the other way. So knees push up towards the ceiling, out and away from each other, and in towards the chest. Beautiful. Take one more circle around here. And then as you bring it back in, we're going to crisscross the ankles, reach around the outsides of the thighs, catch the tops of the feet, and then take a little gentle rock side to side just to see how that feels. And then when you're ready, you're going to start to rock and roll tailbone, crown of head, finding a little bit of massaging action on the spine. And then once you feel like you're ready, find a little momentum and come all the way up to an easy seated position. Once you found your way there, just take a second to find that nice tall lifted spine, drop your shoulders down, close your eyes down just for a moment. Notice your knees, notice your hips, notice your back. Left hand is going to touch the ground, right hand's going to reach up, take a nice gentle side bend. Awesome, take it to the other side. Right hand touches down, left hand reaches up, a nice gentle side bend. Beautiful, lift it up and take a seated twist. Right hand's gonna find the left knee, left hand behind you, inhale and get tall. Release on an inhale, come through center, and exhale, take your twist over to the other side. Inhale to get tall. Beautiful, and then bring it back to center. Take it into easy seated forward fold. Walk yourself forward, reach nice and long through the fingers. Just take a second here to tune in. Notice your knees and your low back. Take one big breath. And then we're going to press into the fingertips, pull the abdominal muscles in, drag your fingers, use your strength from your center to come all the way on up. Swim your hands behind you, lean back into your sits bones, switch the cross in your legs. And then once you've found your new seat, left hand touches down, right hand reaches up, take a gentle side bend. Awesome, take it over to the other side. Beautiful, lift it up and take a twist. Right hand's gonna find the left knee, left hand behind you. On an inhale, release. And as you exhale, take it over to the other side. Beautiful. On an inhale, release, and then exhale, take it into your easy seated forward fold. Walk yourself forward just to the point that feels nice. Notice your knees, notice your back. Notice that little subtle variation since you switched the cross in your legs. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Press into the fingertips, pull your abdominal muscles in, drag your fingers as you pull your way up nice and strong. Nice. Let your hands rest comfortably on your knees. Drop your left ear over to your left shoulder. Roll your chin down towards your chest. Take your right ear over to your right shoulder. Beautiful. Roll your chin down to your chest and just take a couple little figure eights with the nose just to kind of soothe out the back of your neck. Awesome. And then when you're ready, nice and easy, find your way into a tabletop position. Come on to all fours. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Take a second to find your way there. And then we're going to tune into the belly here for a moment. So we want to find a good foundation with our arms and our legs so that we can really pay attention to the midsection. So index fingers pointing to the top of the mat, just a comfortable spread of the fingers so your hands feel like they're in a good position. Make sure there's no discomfort in the wrists. So if you need to walk them forward just a little bit, arrange them in a way that feels nice. And then just double check your knees. If you need to double stack your mat, take a second to do it so your knees are super comfortable. And then once you found your way here, we're going to take a big inhale. Think about letting your belly fill up. And then as you exhale, think about just drawing your abdominal muscles towards your spine. Inhale and let your belly inflate. Exhale and pull your abdominal muscles up towards your spine. So not a lot of movement here. Shoulders are pretty stable. Arms and legs are stable. Inhale, let your belly fill up. Exhale and draw the belly button towards the spine. Nice. Take one more breath just like that. Just inhale and let the belly inflate. maybe tune in and just notice there might be a slight and subtle movement that happens down in your hips. And then as you exhale, pull the abdominal muscles up towards the spine. Beautiful. And now we're going to take that engagement of the abdomen just a little bit further. So inhale, let your belly fill. You're going to exhale, pull the abdominal muscles towards the spine. And then at the end of the exhale, can you suck the belly in further and hold it just as long as you can? Feel that engagement in your abdomen and then release it with control. So rather than gasping for air, soften the abdominal muscles and then take your breath. And then when you're ready, again, exhale, release all your air. At the end of the exhale, suck the abdominal muscles in. Hold it just as long as you can. And then release the abdominal muscles with control before you take that breath. One more just like that. Take a nice big inhale and then exhale, draw the abdominal muscles up. And then at the end of the exhale, suck it all the way in. Hold that sucked in belly just as long as you can. And then when you're ready, release the muscles with control and then take your breath. Beautiful. From here, bring your big toes together, take your knees out super wide to the edges of your mat, come to extended child's pose. Let everything soften. Let your butt soften, let your belly soften, that upper back body soften, let your arms be super soft, and just let your head be nice and heavy. Let go of any efforting, especially in your center. Just give your abdominal muscles a second to kind of gel with all the work that you've just done there. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, nice and easy, start to bring it back up into your tabletop position. So if your knees are wide, just go ahead and walk them back in. We're going to slide the right foot back, toes curled under, and take 3 to 5 rocks forward and back, just to kind of bring some length into the back of the leg and wake up the heel and the calf. Nice. And then when you're ready, slide that leg in and take it over to the other side. Slide the left leg back, toes curled under, rock yourself forward and back. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slide that leg in. We're going to go back to the right leg, but now we're going to take it into our slide the right leg. Slide the right leg out, left leg forward, and then firm up your center. Think about drawing those abdominal muscles up towards the spine, and then lift. Lift the leg, lift the arm, extend long. And then if you're looking forward, just take a second to gaze down at the floor so we find that nice long spine. Beautiful. Take one more breath. Awesome. And then release it down with control. We'll take it to the other side. Left leg and right hand are going to slide out. Firm up your center, so draw the abdominal muscles up. Lift the arm and the leg. Gaze down at the floor. Find that stability there. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then float it all back down. Legs are going to stay in that tabletop position. Arms are going to stay in tabletop position. We're going to work into the scapula muscles here, or the scapula bones. So think about just dropping the chest down, squeeze between the shoulder blades, and then broaden the shoulders, push your chest away from the floor. Nice. Drop your chest down, squeeze between the shoulder blades, and then broaden your back and make some space between the shoulder blades. Lovely. One more time, just like that. Drop the chest, squeeze between the shoulder blades, broaden your shoulders. And now find a neutral spine, curl both toes under, pull your butt back towards your heels. Take 3 nice deep breaths here, just stretching through the toes and the bottoms of the feet. Take one more breath. Keeping the toes curled under on your next inhale, lift back into tabletop position, and then right away into a hovering table. So we're just going to pull the knees up away from the floor. Broaden your shoulders, gaze down at the floor, tune into your center, see if you can find that strength and stability there. Thinking about that idea of pulling the abdomen up towards the spine. Take one more breath. Keep the knees lifted and then just start to lift your way up into a downward facing dog position. Once you found your way there, take a couple pedals of the legs, bend one knee and press into the opposite heel. Nice, and then when you're ready, look forward, walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of the mat into a nice ragdoll position. So feet about hip or shoulder width distance apart. Make some space for your belly and your chest. Let everything soften down. And then if it feels good, just grab your elbows and let everything dangle here for a minute. Let the back of your neck be soft. Take one more breath here. Hands are going to come down to the earth. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in nice and strong from your navel center. Round and roll up to standing. And then as you come on up, take a second to just let everything find its way there. Rock out your shoulders, fix up your clothes, get situated at the top of your mat, and then find your way into your mountain pose. Feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, toes and knees pointing fairly forward. Lifting up through the top of the head, let your shoulders kind of soften down away from your ears. And then bring just a little extra energy down into the fingertips. So nice active hand position, palms facing forward if you can find it. For a moment here in this stronger position, especially with the hands, close your eyes down, take a nice deep breath. Nice slow breath out. Open your eyes, inhale, arms reach up, let the hands meet the top of the head, thumbs to the back of the head, and then fold your hands down the center line. Bend your knees as you hinge forward, touch the floor. Inhale, we're going to take it into a half forward fold, but then we're going to take the hands all the way up to the hip crease. So find the tops of the thighs. Press into the tops of the thighs. Bring a little extra length through your spine. And then just for a second, gaze down at your feet. And if, like me, you have little arches that fall in, lift the arches. Find that nice pada bandha, that lift from the soles of the feet. Press out through the crown of the head. Keep that nice long spine, soles of the feet lifted, and then nod your head up and down here. Beautiful. And then find a neutral position with the head, bend your knees, lift down up to a standing position, hands come down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, hands are going to meet, thumbs to the back of the head. Bend the knees, hinge from the waist, fold down the center line. Hands touch the floor. Inhale to a half forward fold. And now we're going to walk the hands up just a little bit, but now we're going to stay more towards the tops of the thighs where the thighs meet the knees. Think about gently pressing into the thighs. So we're not going to anchor so deep into them so that we push against the knees. So just a little bit of an anchor, lift the soles of the feet, lengthen through the spine, 3 nods of the head here. Beautiful. Head finds a neutral position, bend your knees, stand on up, hands come down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, hands meet, thumbs to the back of the head. Bend your knees, hinge at your waist, hands fold down the center line. Touch the ground, inhale to a half forward fold. Now hands are going to find the shins. So think tops of the shins where the shins meet the knees. Lengthen the spine. We're not pushing against the shins here, so there's just a little bit of a hand touch. Think about pulling the abdominal muscles up just a little bit if I find that engagement in the low belly, and then nod your head up and down. Lovely. Head comes to neutral, bend your knees, lift on up to a standing position, hands come down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, hands meet, thumbs to the back of the head. Fold it down your center line, hands touch the floor. Inhale to a half forward fold position. And then hands are going to find the lowest part of the shins. So think where the shins meet the ankles. Lift the belly, lengthen the spine. Once you found all that, find the nod of your head up and down. Beautiful. And then find that neutral position with your head. Press into your feet. Come up to a standing position. Shoulders soften back and down. Nice. Right hand's going to touch the thigh. Left hand's going to reach up. Take a little side bend. Left hand is going to touch down. Right hand's going to reach up. Take a little side bend the other way. Beautiful. Both hands are going to reach up to the sky. Grab that imaginary beach ball above your head. Sink into a little chair. Pull your butt down and back. Weight is in your heels. Draw your tailbone down. Pull those abdominal muscles in, or pull the ribs in towards each other, or imagine that you're pulling your front hip bones in towards each other. So we want to find that nice anchoring in our center, nice support of the low back through the core muscles. Sit your butt down just a little bit further. Take one more breath. Lovely. And then press firm into your feet. Raise all the way up as you exhale. Just cactus your arms, open your chest. Take one nice big breath here. Nice. Inhale, raise your arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, fold yourself all the way down to the ground. Hands are going to stay on the ground. Think about lifting through the fingertips to find that flat back position, and then take 3 nods of your head here. Nice. Head comes to neutral. Bend your knees. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Strong from your navel center. Round and roll all the way up to standing. Roll your shoulders down and back. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold down. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step the right leg back, warrior 2. Drop the back heel down, turn the toes out. Right hand is going to spin you up. Nice. And then just take a second to check with that front knee. Make sure the energy is pulling towards the pinky toe. Lift from the soles of the feet. Lift that energy up and out through the fingertips. Gaze forward. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. Now we're going to straighten the front knee and pivot the front toes. So both toes are going to turn out to the right side of the mat. Hands are going to come to heart center, and just start to take a couple gentle bends of the knees side to side. Make sure it feels like it's a good position for your toes and your knees. So if you need to turn out or do any little rearrangements so that your knees are happy, take a moment to find it. Lovely. One more time each side. And then as you come back to center, find your way into that 5-pointed star. Reach the arms up. Lift the energy up from the soles of the feet, up the side body, out through the fingertips. Maybe even let your eyes lift up towards the sky. Take one nice big breath. Nice. And then soften your knees, hinge at your waist, fold your hands down to the ground. With your hands on the ground, find that side lunge position again. So we're just rocking a little side to side. Cool. And now we're going to start to walk our hands with. So think like you're trying to lift off into your half moon position. So you're going to walk your hands from side to side, let your hand reach towards the end of the mat, and then lift the opposite leg up. Beautiful. And now the next time your left hand comes towards the top edge of your mat, lift the right leg up, let that hip rotate towards the ceiling, bring your hand just to your hip. Think about pulling that right hip up towards the sky, push through your right heel, take one big breath. Lovely. And then set that foot down with control, pivot the front foot so we find our way back into our warrior 2 position. Awesome. And then once you've found your way into that warrior 2 position, lift from the soles of the feet out through the fingertips, take one strong breath here. And then we're going to spin the hands down to the ground, pivot on your back heel, come into a run. Runner's lunge, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Plant your palms, step back to a plank. Hold in that plank. Broaden your shoulders, push through the heels. Nice long neck, so we gaze down at the floor. Awesome. And then release your knees down with control. Elbows rotate. Hug the elbows into the ribs, lower onto your belly. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. One more just like that. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, lower down, push your way up into a tabletop position. Knees are going to come in line with the hips, wrists in line with the shoulders, or wherever is most comfortable for your wrists. Take one big inhale here, fill your belly up. Exhale, and then suck the belly in. At the end of the exhale, vacuum suck those abdominal muscles in. Hold it just as long as you can. And then with control, release the abdominal muscles. Inhale and take a breath. Lovely. Curl your toes under. Exhale, find your way up to down dog. Look forward, walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale to fold it all down. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg back, warrior two to the other side. We drop the back heel down, turn the toes out, spin your hands up. Then take a second just to find your way here. So we lift energy from the soles of the feet, up the legs, up the side body, out through the fingertips, gaze forward. Nice, and then straighten that front knee, pivot both toes out to the left side of the mat, prayer hands together, start to find that little subtle bend of the knees. So we find those nice higher lifted side lunges. One more time each side. And then bring it back to center, extend your arms up, think 5-pointed star, energy up through the soles of the feet, up the side body, out through the fingertips, eyes look up, take a nice big breath. Beautiful, and then soften everything down. Bend your knees, hinge from your waist, hands find the ground, find those side lunges again. Beautiful, and then we'll take it a little bit further. So start to walk your hands with you and then lift the opposite leg. Take it from side to side a few times just to find that footing, that nice gentle lift of the leg, finding a little bit of fluidity and control. Wonderful, and then the next time your right hand finds the top edge of your mat, lifting the left leg up, left hand is gonna find the left hip. Hip is going to rotate towards the ceiling, push a little energy out through that left heel, take a nice big breath. And then when you're ready, release that foot back down to the ground, find your way back up into your warrior two position, bending that front knee, extending the arms long. Awesome, spin your hands down to the ground, finding your runner's lunge, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Nice, and then plant the palms, step back to a plank. Hang out in that plank, nice and strong. Press through your heels, broaden your shoulders, abdominal muscles pull up towards the spine. And then we lower with control. Bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug the elbows into the ribs. Beautiful, now we're gonna take 3 cobras, but we're gonna get a little higher here. So start with a low cobra, inhale, gently lift your heart. Exhale, lower down. Slide your hands back about 1 inch. Inhale and lift your heart just a little higher. Exhale, lower down. Slide your hands back 1 more inch. Inhale, lift your heart nice and high. Beautiful, exhale, lower down. Push your way up into a tabletop position. Knees in line with the hips, wrists in line with the shoulders. Inhale, take a nice big breath. Exhale. And then at the end of the exhale, vacuum suck that belly in, hold it just as long as you can. And then release the abdominal muscles with control. Inhale, and take your breath. Beautiful, curl the toes under, exhale up to down dog. Look forward, walk, step or hop your feet up to the top of your mat into forward fold position. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Let the hands meet, let your chest lift as you look up. Exhale and fold everything down. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to down dog. Right leg is gonna come up into 3-legged dog. Start with a stable 3-legged dog so you might not get big lift in the leg, but keep your hips even and your shoulders even. Beautiful, and then we're gonna lift the leg a little higher, bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Nice, and then bring it back to that more neutral position. Square up your hips, square up your shoulders, reach through the foot, and then take it into a plank, but keep the leg lifted. So shift yourself forward, keep your leg lifted and engaged. Beautiful, and then take that leg right back up into that 3-legged dog. Release that foot down to down dog. Take a breath, rearrange anything that you need to, and then we'll take it to the other side. Left leg is gonna lift up, shoulders are square, hips are square. Nice. And then lift and let the hip rotate. Awesome. Bring it back to that three-legged dog position with the shoulders square and hips square. And then keep that leg lifted. Shift yourself forward. Find a little bit of a plank. Awesome. And then lift it right back up. Nice. Left leg is going to come down. We're going to take that right leg up nice and high. And now we're going to step that right leg up to the top right corner of our mat. So super wide to the outside of the pinky finger. Beautiful. Bring the back knee down. Release your back toes. Nice. And then see how it feels from here. You might feel good to just stay in this position, but if it feels good and you want a little bit more, you're going to let the knee drop open, find the blade edge of your foot. And then if all of that feels good, maybe you come down on elbows and forearms. Take one more breath. When you're ready, start to bring your foot back into that flat-footed position. Walk your hands up. We're going to stay in this lunge for one more second. See how it feels to bend that back knee. Reach your right hand back, catch hold of that foot if you can. Hug the heel in toward your bum. Take one nice big breath. Beautiful. And then release that foot with control. Curl the back toes under. Pick the back knee up. Hands are planted down. Slide that foot back to downward facing dog. Take a pedal or two of the legs just to kind of smooth everything out. And then when you're ready, left leg is going to come up nice and high. You're going to bend that knee and step it up to the top left corner of your mat, outside of the pinky finger. Beautiful. Bring the back knee down. Release your back toes. Cool. And then if it feels good, let that front knee open up, find the blade edge of your foot. And if all of that felt good, come down onto your elbows and forearms. Take one more breath. Cool. And then when you're ready, start to lift yourself back up. So the flat of the foot comes down, walk those hands up and in, bend that back knee. Left hand's going to reach behind. See if you can catch hold of that foot. Wonderful. And then release that foot with control. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee up, slide that front leg back to down dog. Take a couple pedals of the legs. Nice. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come to tabletop position into our cow face prep pose. Right leg is going to reach out. Left toes are going to swing over to the right. You're going to tuck the right knee behind the left. Knees are stacked, toes pointing in opposite directions. Pull your butt back to your heels and then come right back up. Do that again. Pull your butt back toward your heels and lift on up. One more time, just like that. Pull your butt back to your heels. Lift on up in that tabletop position with the knees crossed. You're just going to bop your hips a little bit side to side. Nice. One more little bop of the hips side to side, and then you're going to sit your butt way back. See how it feels to walk all the way back so your butt finds the ground. Hands are going to touch the soles of the feet. Tuck chin to chest. Keep the shoulders down and back. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release your hands from your soles of your feet, lift your head up. You're going to lift your butt up away from the floor, come back into tabletop position, unwind your legs, shake anything out that you need to, and then we'll take that to the other side. So left leg is going to extend out, right toes reach over to the left side of the mat. Stack your left knee behind the right knee. So knees are stacked, toes are pointing in opposite directions. Awesome. Pull your butt back toward your heels, and then lift yourself right back up. Pull your butt back to your heels, and lift yourself back up. Pull your butt back to your heels. Lift yourself back up. Wag your tail a little side to side. Do that little bop of the hips. Nice. And then when you're ready, pull your butt back toward your heels. Sit all the way back. Let your butt find the floor. Rearrange your knees if you need to, but then let your hands find the soles of the feet. Shoulders down. Tuck chin into chest. Take a nice big breath. When you're ready, lift your chin, release your hands from the soles of your feet, lift yourself up into that tabletop position, unwind your legs, give your hips a little bop side to side. Cool. And then when you're ready, swing your toes out to one side, sit back on your bum and swing your legs out in front of you. With nice long legs, a little softness in the backs of the knees. Take a big breath, reach up, exhale, reach toward your toes. Inhale to reach your hands up and overhead. Exhale, hands are going to come down alongside the hips, fingers pointing forward. Step your feet in just a little bit so you can press firm into your feet. Find a reverse table here. Lift your hips up, lift your heart, squeeze between the shoulder blades, lift to the ceiling. Take one nice big breath. Beautiful. And then lower your butt down with control. Release your hands and roll your way down to the ground. Once you found your way down, just give pause for a moment. Let your body kind of chill out. Let your spine relax. Awesome. From here, we're going to lift our feet up so we find our legs in a tabletop position, hugging the inner thighs together just a little bit. We're going to drop the knees over to the right and take a spinal twist. So take your knees and let them come all the way down to the ground. And then from here, if it feels good, right hand is going to find the outside of the left thigh. You're going to press the thighs down into the ground for a little extra leverage, and then press your left shoulder, your opposite shoulder down into the ground, and then maybe turn your head to the left if that feels good. Take one more breath. If your hand is on the outside of your thigh, go ahead and release it. Turn your head to center. With control, pull your knees back to center. Pull both knees into your chest. Give a light little squeeze. And then release them right back into that tabletop position and take them over to the other side. So knees are going to drop to the left. Take a second to find your way there. And then once you're there, left hand is going to find the outside of the right thigh. Press the thighs down. Press your shoulder blade down. Turn your head to the right and come back to your breath. When you're ready, release your hand from your thighs. Head's going to turn to center. Knees are going to pull up into center. Grab hold of your knees, hug them into your chest, give a light little squeeze. And then if it feels good, just take a little gentle rock side to side. Beautiful. From here, we're going to float both feet up towards the ceiling. Think legs up the wall. Take 3 points and flexes the feet. Awesome. And then with a more neutral foot, bend your knees, float your feet down to the ground, toe heel your feet to the outer edges of your mat. Take it into constructive rest just for a moment. Rearrange your tailbone, bring your arms back into that cactus or goal post position. And then once you've got your arms and your legs in place, come back to that windshield wiper with the head turn. So knees are turning side to side, head is turning in the opposite direction. Nice. One more turn of the knees side to side. And then let your knees drop over to the right. Let them sink all the way down. If it feels good, you're going to pick your right foot up, stack it on top of the left. Let the knees get super heavy here. Take a nice big breath. And then if that foot is stacked, go ahead and release it. Float the knees to center and then drop them over to the left. Let them sink all the way down. If it feels good here, you're going to pick the left foot up, stack it on top of the right. Let the knees get nice and heavy. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Then unstack that left foot. Float the knees to center, knees drop in towards each other. Find constructive rest. Pause here for just a moment. Notice how your body feels. And then ask yourself where would be your best Shavasana. Maybe you stay in constructive rest and find a more comfortable position with the arms. Maybe you take it into reclined cobbler's pose. Maybe you take it into the traditional Shavasana shape or any other shape that feels appropriate to your body. Take a second to just find your way there, and then give yourself a moment or two to settle in. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana as long as you like. But if you feel called to do so, gently start to reawaken your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Invite any other gentle movement back into your body that might feel good to you. And then if it feels really good, take a big good morning stretch with a yawn. Stretch your arms up and overhead, reach through your toes, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then in your own way, start to find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Nice. Get nice and comfortable in your seat. And we're just going to finish with the little pranayama, a little breath work. So make sure your seat feels good and comfortable. We're going to make little fists with our hands, and we're just going to start by just finding this nice pumping of the arms. So you want to reach your arms up, and then you want to think about tapping your elbows down to your ribs. So you're not going to punch yourself with your ribs, but there's going to be a little bit of a oomph to that elbow and rib connection. So once you feel like your arms have that motion down, as you inhale, you're going to reach the arms up, and exhale, you're going to pull the elbows in and give a little tap. And now we want to start to see if we can find an evenness of the breath. So equal breath on the inhale and exhale. So inhale, exhale, 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 inhale, exhale. Now we're going to go at a little bit faster pace. So just make sure your seat feels good. And then we're going to take it at a little bit more rapid pace. You might find the breath that works best for you. Just keep in mind, the inhale is up, the exhale, the elbows tap the ribs. And you want to make sure that the inhale and exhale are equal length breaths. So if you like to, just close your eyes down so you can just tune into your breath. And then away we go. Take about 10 cycles of breath. And then once you found your 10 cycles of breath, you're just going to let your hands rest comfortably. All right, here we go. When you're ready, relax your hands down. Let them just rest gently wherever's the most comfortable. Soften your shoulders down. Give a second to just let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, stack both hands right on top of your heart and bow your head to your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you.